Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, XRP, and Litecoin, and that's the order we're going to be going in. And I also wanted to point out in the top part of your screen there, I'm going to start listing out for you all the things we're going to be going over and what we're looking at. And today what we're going to be paying attention to is the retest of broken support that we broke down through that green horizontal line that you're seeing on the chart. We're going to talk about the fact that we're below every single moving average right now. Volume climax happened with a break. Lower highs and lower lows have been coming in. Right now we're dealing with a possible doji or hammer candle that could be forming for a potential reaction or a reversal. And then what has to happen for us to get back into that short-term bull trend, and then we have to turn that into an intermediate term bull trend, then a longer term bull trend. So that's what we're going to get into today, guys. If you get some from these videos, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Appreciate you all being here with me today, and let's do this. So with Bitcoin, what I've been looking at and what I've been paying attention to is to see if we're going to get a reaction. And guys, whenever you see heavy volume, sometimes when you break down through support, just like we had over here, we had support. This was basically a symmetrical triangle that we were dealing with there, and we ended up breaking down through on heavy volume. And after we broke down through on heavy volume, there were some days here where we were just kind of consolidating sideways before we ended up dropping down a little bit more, and we hit that very beautiful bullish engulfing candle that just really didn't play out, guys. We lost the entire move. We're sitting there at the very bottom of it right now. So that shows the importance of taking your profits. Whenever something goes up 40% in 2 days, always take your profits. That's something that's special and doesn't happen in all types of markets. But we were moving sideways there. So now what we're looking to see is if we broke through this green support here, heavy volume climax, like you can see here, and now are we going to get a reaction back up to this green horizontal line, support line that we broke through? Because a lot of times when you break through something like that, you can have a reaction back to it and retest it. And guys, that would put us back around almost $8,000 if that is the case. So that's where it depends on what you're doing. If you're trading long-term investing, or you're just trying to, trade a quick reaction, some guys would potentially be looking at this right now with the RSI at 25 and saying, hey, I want to try to catch a quick reaction, maybe buy around $7,300 and then sell out around that $8,000, just a quick reaction, and then we may even go lower than that. So that's some people's strategy. Other people's strategy, they're trying to buy this now for the long term, and they're looking at Bitcoin and saying it's $7,300. I think that's a fair price for it. I'm going in for the long term, and that's fine. But guys, what I like to do is try to do that short-term trading to swing trading. I want to try to take advantages of these big swings, and then when I can see reversals happening, sell out. That's what I like to do. I like to wait for confirmation, get good confirmation on good volume, a good bullish candlestick pattern on heavy volume at a trend line or support area, and then jump in from there and try to ride it as long as I can before we start breaking down through those moving averages again and seeing, weakness in the RSI. That's how I like to play things. So do we have a potential for a quick little reaction right now? Absolutely. And what would have to happen here is for us to get some type of like doji candle or a hammer candle. Right now you could see this would qualify if we ended up closing today like this. That would be a hammer candle. A hammer candle, you want the wick to be about 2 to 3 times as long as the real body. So that would qualify right there. It'd be a very small hammer candle. And what we'd have to wait for is to see if we get follow through tomorrow, or if we're just going to keep dropping back down to the downside. So my upside targets now, guys, would be around that 78.75. If we can get a reaction back up to even this 9 EMA, that would be important for us just to retest that. That's going to be upside. To the downside, really, guys, I'd look probably down around that $6,800 to see if that's respected. And that's where we wicked down to before we got bought up. And now today we're going to see if we get that doji or that hammer candle. And bear with me today, guys. I'm a little bit under the weather, so if I'm sniffling or sneezing, I apologize. But what has to happen for us here, guys, for us to really start making moves and for me to be confident that we're going to start getting into that uptrend again, we need to break out through this purple downtrend line that we've been having lower highs in. So this is just a longer term view stepping out. That's what needs to happen. We need to get a trend line break out of there and start challenging, $9,500. $10,633, and just take these one at a time. That's what needs to happen. But it first has to start with this type of reaction. We have to see what type of bounce we get. If it's a weak bounce, then we're going to roll over, and we could go as low as $5,800, or we could find a nice strong bounce off here, and maybe that could be enough to get us back to test that 78.75. But right now we're just at that critical area, and we're paying attention, we're watching, we're waiting, we're looking at the volume, and you just want to see. Me personally right now, I've just been sitting back in cash, just waiting for the right time to strike. And right now, because I like to do that swing trading, I have not had enough confirmation for me to say I want to take a long at this moment right now. But that's just my decision. I'm more patient. I'm a little more conservative. I like to wait for confirmation. I don't want to catch falling knives, because sometimes you try to do that and you'll see an RSI at 25 and it'll end up dropping down to 8, guys. That's just what happens in this game especially. So guys, you like me covering Bitcoin, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll move on here to XRP. XRP is at a very important area as well. So what we've been looking at with XRP, guys, we've been talking about changing the trend, right? We're looking at this. It's been an intermediate term downtrend. And then we started to look how XRP changed, and we were moving to a short-term uptrend, which was nice. But we had a trend line break in the short term here, this green trend line. We broke down through and we ended up losing close to 20% there. And we broke down through 25 cents, which was our red line of support there. And now what we're waiting to see is if we find support at this area that we're at right now. Let me draw a horizontal line here for us, and I'll show you right where this is at. So we would be looking, next stop for support would probably be around that 20-cent mark. That's a big area we're going to be paying attention to, because we've wicked down to this 20 cents and we got bought back up, and then we started this short-term uptrend. So that obviously was significant, this area down in here. So that's what I'm looking at next, guys, is to see if we get a reversal here, and out of this trend line break we have a reaction and we come back up and try to test this. But right now we have these moving averages pressing down on us like a river. You have to think about it like that. First we need to get up above the 9 EMA, then the 20, then the 50, then the 200 EMA. So they're starting to point down to the downside. So that's just where we have to see if this is a quick little reaction and then we end up going lower to test this 20, or if this is going to be a true reversal and we start moving out of here with some type of bullish Harami pattern, something along those lines right there. Next, for XRP, I wanted to look at our stock RSI. This one I've been paying a lot of attention to. Stock RSI for XRP here, USD, is at 4 and 2. So that's a good thing in terms of we're oversold there. And what we're trying to find, guys, is a stock cross down here, a bullish cross on good volume with a bullish candlestick pattern coming out of here. That's what I'm waiting for. I don't have enough confirmation of that yet. I want to wait for more confirmation before I would take a long here. But it's something I am eyeing up, the fact that we are that low on the stock RSI and we could be getting some type of, little reversal pattern out of here. But it's not confirmed yet. So that's where I'm waiting to see whether it be 25 cents or whether it be 20 cents. I'm going to be prepared either way. Right now we're sitting at 23 cents. But guys, it's just tough because we were in this short-term uptrend and then we lost it. And what that showed was weakness. We were up above this 50 moving average for 2-3 weeks, and then we lost it again. We didn't have the strength to stay up above it, and that's when we should have been breaking out of this 200 EMA, because we were getting squeezed between the two, and we would have liked to see the bulls step in there with conviction and power off this trend line and really make a strong move to the upside, but it didn't happen. And that's where we just have to be careful of this weakness right now. Next one we're going to do is Litecoin. So guys, that's my XRP family. If you guys like me covering it, let me know down low, comment. And then we'll go to Litecoin here. And Litecoin is at $47.88. And Litecoin's sitting on a support area as well right now, guys. We're looking at this downtrend, this yellow trend line. I've just been leaving this in here for the longest time now, ever since we've been in this intermediate term downtrend. And we broke out of this trend line. It didn't come on a lot of volume, so that's how we knew it was a little bit weaker. And you can see we've had an alarm set up here for quite a while now at 65.28. That's when I want to be alerted, because then we'd be trying to challenge this 200 EMA, which we haven't done since August 10th, so it's been a long time since then. But right now we're sitting on a key support area at 47.26 there, and this is where we need a bounce, guys. If we don't get a bounce here, we could end up probably going down. I'd start looking around that $40 range if we don't get a bounce right where we're off here, because this is support, this has been support, we've hit it back in here, we've hit it over here. So this has been a spot where you'd expect some type of bulls to step in. Our stochastic RSI is at 1.46 and 0, so we're definitely in that oversold territory there, and we're waiting to see if we can get a nice cross on volume with a bullish candlestick pattern right here, guys. But right now the trend is down, and that's why you have to be cautious. You know, some people like to jump in at places like this, say, I think this is the bottom and I'm going for it. For me, really, I want to see some conviction. I want to see where this closes today, and I want to see what tomorrow's candle brings and what type of volume it's going to have, what our stochastic is looking like. That's what I really like to look for in this space, guys. And you have to be very careful, because say you go long in a spot like this and the next day it's a weak candle and you hardly move and there's low volume, the next day a lot of times you'll just get slammed to the downside. And that's just the name of this game. It happens all the time. So my advice to you is just to be cautious. I'd rather be a little bit late on the move and catch the big chunk out of the middle than jump in too early and you have another lower low and you get pushed down, you know, another 10-15%. That type of stuff can be devastating. So that's what I'm trying to help people avoid. And guys, what you can always do on TradingView, you can look in here as well, and you can look at the technicals. I've shown some people this before. I don't know if you know, if you've never seen me do this before, guys, comment down low. But this is something that's pretty cool. You can go through on the 1 day. You can look. It'll show 18 sell signals right now for Litecoin, 7 neutral, 3 buy. You can look at the moving averages, 15 sell, 1 neutral, 1 buy. So that's a very strong thing, showing that the river is down like we were looking at these moving averages. This just combines them all for you and makes it easier than reading all the moving averages on the chart. And then the oscillator, 3 sell, 6 neutral, 2 buy. And you can keep going down through and you can look at, you know, the 5 moving average, the 10, and they're all just sells right now, guys. So that's why I said just be careful. That's what I want to help people with in this space, and that's what I'm trying to do here. So if you get something from this, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, guys. Appreciate you being here with me. God bless. Have a wonderful Saturday.